Good evening, peoples. Welcome to the very first the Chaotic Portal episode. KCDG in the building. This one gonna be real short and sweet because I just had to bring to the attention of the world that I have come to agree with the opinion of Mark Lamont. One of his opinions, just one. But for context, we're gonna go look at somebody that we are all familiar with, but may not remember right off bat. Uh, KCDG. Yo, Chris, you remember the nigga, the white man, Dylan Roof?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they just recently said that they were going to go ahead and approve him for the death penalty, right? And for
Mhm.
those who are not totally aware, I'm gonna share my screen real quick so that we can refresh the memories of those who may not remember. Dylan Roof was the gentleman that went into the church and was praying with the people in Charleston and then killed them. So, without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and share my what I seen on Instagram, which was posted by DL Hughley.
Dylan Roof should not be given the death penalty. I know people are going to say, why would you say such a thing? Dylan Roof is a monster. They're going to say he walked into a church and killed all those saints. He prayed with them. He did Bible study with them. And when their heads were down praising the Lord, he killed them. He is a white supremacist who targeted black people. How could you say he doesn't deserve the death penalty? Well, that's exactly why he doesn't deserve the death penalty, because this death penalty right now is being used to normalize it. Of course, you take the biggest monster in the world. You take somebody whose guilt is unquestioned. You take somebody who nobody likes in their right mind. You take somebody who did one of the most awful things we've ever seen or heard. And then you give him the death penalty and everybody says, okay, fine. So there are cases where the death penalty works. And then guess what happens? The death penalty is then used not just for the Dylan Roofs of the world, not just for the Boston Marathon bombers. It's far more often going to be used against black and brown people. We cannot fall victim to the game. The death penalty has become increasingly unpopular, but we can't let moments like this become the moment where we pivot back to becoming a nation that kills its citizens. The death penalty, it doesn't work. It doesn't make people more likely to put down their guns and not murder somebody. It doesn't make somebody less likely to kill somebody. The death penalty does not dissuade people from murder. In fact, in states where there is the death penalty, murder rates are often higher. It doesn't work. It doesn't do what y'all say it's supposed to do. We get it wrong a lot. If you look at the number of people who've been wrongfully killed, if you look at the people who have been murdered on death row by the state and they didn't do it, if you look at the people who've been exonerated by DNA, if you look at the people who we later find out somebody lied on them, we don't have the science or the technology to kill people. And beyond that, we don't have the moral authority to kill our own citizens. No nation built on settler colonialism, no nation that enslaved African people, no nation that denied chunks of its citizenry the right to vote, no nation that continues to lie, continues to kill, that can conduct the Tuskegee experiment, no nation that has done the evil of the United States or Germany or France or any of these other nations has the ability to do a death penalty. So yeah, you can be happy that Dylan Roof is going to die. That might be how you feel, but that ain't the right answer. And some of y'all are going to say, yeah, if that was your family in that church, if you was in AME church, if you was in Emmanuel, you feel differently. You're right. I might feel different if my mama or my daddy or my sister or my brother or my friend was killed in that church. You're absolutely right. I might want to kill him too. But I don't make my best decisions when I'm enraged. I don't make my most rational decisions when someone's harmed somebody I love. A position of rage is not the position from which we make public policy. A position of anger and pain and hurt is not when we make collective decisions about how we treat people. Right now is an opportunity for us to show our moral authority, not with the whodunit, not with the we don't know what happened, but with the surefire slam dunk murdering monster like Dylan Roof. We have the opportunity to say, no, we are not going to kill him, not because we give a damn about Dylan Roof, but because we care about who we want to be as a country and as a people. Dylan Roof should not be given the death penalty.
So, with the conclusion of that clip, I would like to go ahead and hold on now, babe. Hey.
Trying to get some goddamn regulating.
Man, that little girl, that boy, she don't care about nothing, nothing. She don't care about nothing. Well, yeah, with that being said, we're going to now enter the chaotic portal. Now, the reason why I feel like this right here is a portal into chaos is because I am agreeing with the individual that I recently felt like I was beefing with, almost like in a non-existent internet kind of way. You know what I mean? It's just several times he's had a commentary and questions for individuals I felt was inappropriate and harsh, and then other times I felt like he was protecting agendas that weren't actually of his own interest for the sake of entertaining journalism. There's several reasons why I was not a particular fan of this gentleman. But with listening to that monologue, he makes a lot of sense. And it almost...
Shout out to Geechee in the building.
Oh, Big Geech on my trail. Okay. But it makes me wonder how many messages have I missed? Because only recently have I become the person who is focused on the messages and not the messenger. And
so for me to respond, I'm gonna have to dial it back, okay? Because I feel like you're right. This is a chaotic portal because on one end, I'm like, damn, they've killed niggas for less. You get what I'm saying? And then on the other spectrum, I'm like, well, do we really want to make it the norm? So it's a pitfall. It's a slippery slope once, it's accepted once. So you look at Dylan Roof, then you got to look at all the previous, mass shootings and this and that. And go back and rejudge those. And evaluate those, see if they're worthy of such a thing. If you're just gonna open that gate, you feel me? So, I'm kind of conflicted. I don't like straddling the fence. I like to paint something black or white. But with this instance, I just have to go with I think he should get it, bro, because simply for the fact of it would somewhat prevent it from happening again. If you set the norm also that, okay, I can do such a thing and just spend the rest of my life behind walls, that's also setting a standard as well that may not be so much, agreed upon. which would later lead into chaos.
Mm. So in that sense, I'm kind of on the fence too. But I really it really stuck with me when he mentioned at the end there talking about uh, if my people was in the church, I would feel differently too. But once again, we don't build public policy based on
I'm
an
taking
emotion.
all emotion out of it. Like, what's up, mama? See if he wants to. But nah, where was I? Oh yeah, emotion away. Let's say, let's forget about where it was and what was happening. Hold on.
It, I mean, we gotta what removing all the emotion is difficult. But that's why we don't ask the people who are experiencing situations in order to be the ones to play it out in order to deal with it.
But it's mandatory to make a
It's
logical decision. You have to remove emotion.
right. That's why
So that's what I'm saying. Setting that standard of doing such a crime and it really being no life penalty. Because, okay, let's take it back. Before there was judicial law, there was universal law. You take a life, you got to give a life. We've stepped so far away from that to where it's become killing us. Literally have no, spiritual remorse. You get what I'm saying?
right.
At the end of the day, we're the only one losing souls. If you set the standard, that's a slippery slope. Like I say, they could they could do it on a more massive scale and still be like, oh, okay, well, we're just gonna sit in prison. I'll take that. At least my overall goal is accomplished. It was worth it.
Okay, I feel that. All right. So how do you feel about when he said that we don't have the technology to kill people? Do you feel like that's an outdated statement and that we do now have the technology to kill people?
Man, we've been killing people from the beginning of time. The hell he talking about?
To kill without mistake, to kill and make sure that it don't turn around and be a
That's
mistake.
that negates the point. I don't understand that. So a death is a death. So you saying that's basically saying, okay, well, if you kill people with a virus, it's humane. Killing is killing, bro. It doesn't matter how that death comes.
Mm, I feel you on that for sure, for sure. So, and then I had I had I had this as my curveball because my original article I wanted to run at you with turned out to be completely a waste of energy.
Uh-oh. Let me hear this.
So there was now I'm just saying there was a individual who
Okay.
spoke against a powerful individual, and I want to do some research to see what actually happened in that situation. But the end of this man is not searchable at the moment, and so we're gonna have to off the air collaborate on how we're gonna take it to the next level and figure that game out because I want to talk about blackballing,
Mm,
but
okay.
we're gonna get on that later. Most of the world doesn't even know about my short involvement with the entertainment industry, so and we gonna take
You
up
know, I got
all
a little bit on that too, as far as the black ball part. You know, I got a lot of that. So that'll be a good topic.
that. So we gonna adjourn the session, and we're gonna come
Okay,
back at
hold up.
the
Let
date.
me plug in the King's Table podcast. You know, because we're going live here in a minute.
Right.
We're gonna have the topic of cities that was destroyed out of hate or either by its own government. And make sure you tune in to KCDG TV. Boom, yeah.
Oh yeah. Another plug, timemanagement.com for your credit repair and money management. You got to love
Big facts.
yourself.com, the official kingcrucial.com. We in here. Thank you for viewing the very first episode of the Chaotic Portal. We'll be back at you when we get back to you. And KCDG always say, man, think with greatness.
Greatness.